Good morning, students. Here I am to begin the new lesson, the third lesson of the 9th standard. So far we have seen 2 lessons and 2 poems, and here comes the third lesson, the collectors. And this poem is a play story. This is so that in the play story, this is like a drama, or these people are going for the other place as a for the picnic, and there is a whole story which was ending with a tragedy, and it looks like a imaginary. And have you seen? I hope that you have seen this movie Narnia, that the alien coming towards the earth, and they enter into the imaginary world, and it looks like that everything real, but it is a fake. And that is what the story of these collectors. We see in this story we have some characters that is identified. Here there is a pet, Carol, Tracy, Glenn, and Wayne, and Alon. These are the students of the story. And here there are 3 teachers who was leading them to the place, unknown place, and that is Mr. Hunt, Miss Swan, and Miss Jones. Okay. But there are 2 people on the way to their alien place. They meet this person, Mrs. Brown and Mr. Brown. And this story is a very funny one. I will just give you the summary. Okay. The children are out of their on adventurous walk. They have gone for a picnic and have gone for the adventurous walk. The adventurous is the difficult, which is we have the traditionally from the beginning. If you go to Hampi, you see these foreigners are putting the rope on the stone and climbing the stone. That is called adventurous. If you go to the iceberg, you see there is the skating on the iceberg. Full the deep slope of the hill of the iceberg, they just skate. That is called the adventurous. That is the frightening things which they take to make themselves understand. And the stories are like this. Okay. The Mrs. Swan isn't there somewhere we can shelter. When they have gone to the adventurous place, and what happens? The whole story. This is a whole full of heavy rain, and they have drenched it. Walking all round on the way, they are not finding any shelter. Okay, let me read the summary very slowly. This is the picnic or the adventurous walk which they are going through. They are getting wet, drenched in the heavy rain, and they are not getting a place to shelter. They are fully wet. They are feeling shivering because the body is fully cold. Wet, the clothes are wet, and they want, in this critical moment, they want one place to shelter. Okay, where walking and walking, and they get tired, their legs are paining, walking, and again they ask the teacher, how long we have to walk? And she says in this play, 3 miles. What is the mile? The 3.5 kilometer is called as a 1 mile. So it is the 3 miles, means exactly it is 3 into 3, 9, 10, almost 11 to 12 kilometers coming from Gangavati to Kesarati. This is almost distance of this much they have to walk, and they were telling it is impossible. After a lot of difficulties they walk, they find the place. It's called a small shelter and a small shed. And here this Mr. Jones says, this is a quite new place for me. When I was there on the last picnic, last adventurous picnic, that was not there. Something new has come out. Let us go. Let us at least stand outside. That was the idea they have. At last, the Mr. Brown comes from the outside and calls them in, and they get a place to shelter inside. Okay, let me go through the story. The Collectors is a one-act play about the encounter of the group of teachers and children. Already I told you. On an adventure walk in a lonely countryside with the 2 aliens. And these are the aliens we find here. Is Mr. Brown and the Mrs. Brown. These are the 2 aliens. They are the aliens which they find here. These are the 2 reply to the works of the house of the aliens. Okay, they are not human beings. things at all. Okay, let's see. The aliens have taken the form of humans, and hence the group takes shelter in their space, mistaking it for the house. Okay, the shelter is like a garage, or like a small box, and this is the place they enter inside. Looks like a house, but it is not a house. Is it raining heavily? And Miss Swan wonders whether they could get shelter. And now they are thinking, is heavily it is raining, they are fully drenched, their clothes are wet, and they are feeling cold. They somehow they want a shelter. They want to take to go inside to do something. Now the question comes, can we enter into the shelter or no? But the Mr. Hunt replies that they could get a shelter only after reaching the village, which is 3 miles away. Okay, this is what I told you. This is the village. They can get the shelter, but only reaching the 3 miles away. It is a point that the group sees a house, but on that time, the students, the group of students, these are called the students, they see one house. The strangeness of the house is apparent right from the beginning. What that house is, but for them is quite strange. It not looks like a house, not look like a garage, something similar as a house they say. So it is, they say it is a strange. Mrs. Jones says that it is a funny looking. Sure, I told you it is not the garage, it is not the house. It is a somewhat looks like a house but not a house. So it is automatically it is a funny. Okay. Mr. Hunt remarks that it wasn't there when he had been there for the previous summer. Last summer when he was there on the trip there, he says that it was not there in the beginning. Now I find that something is new here. However, since the children are wet and cold, they decided to approach the house for a shelter. Since they have got wet and they are having the cold, they need a shelter. They say, let us have a shelter there. They also think that if it is embarrassing to ask for a shelter for so many of them, and if it is a one or two, it is easy to ask the shelter. But the problem is there are so many students. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 students, 3 teachers. There are 9 of them. To ask the shelter is not so easy. Okay, and it says here, they think of that is embarrassing to ask for a shelter so many times for them. They would take a shelter in the shed. Okay. However, they are welcomed by the inmates of the house. Now here it says inmates of the house. Who is the inmates of the house? The Mrs. Brown and Mr. Brown are the inmates of the house. They are the aliens. Okay. Now he says, Mr. Brown, Mrs. Brown, the grown-up are taken to the sitting room and they are also offered tea. Now grown-up, elderly people are taken inside the sitting room and they are given the tea. But after the 3 teachers and the inmates of the house have gone to the sitting room, after the shelter they have taken to the inside to the sitting room. Let's see what happened. The children started feeling uncomfortable. Okay, teachers and the grown-up children are taken inside, but those who are inside are sitting. The children, they are feeling uncomfortable. They find the house to be a strange, as it is a trembly, quiet and cold. Even inside it was feeling cold now. Okay, and there is no wind at all. Is it that AC they have on it? Or there is, because they cannot hear the sound what is outside with heavily raining, but inside is quite cold and they were terrified now. Now they understood it is not the house, it is something else. Okay. They find the house to be strange, that is terrible, quiet and cold, and there is no wind at all. They also find everything empty, as the house is not being used at all. Now they have entered inside, they find nothing in the house. House is empty. Is it something we say, no, some Budh Bangla in Kannada I have to say, when you just enter there, nothing you find, no crockeries, no table, no chair, only house and left it out, but is the clean and neat. You get frightened, and then they also have this same expression, fully empty, but it is strange. The children wonder whether the brown have put all things to the cupboard. But there are wardrobes over there. What is the wardrobes? In all these new buildings in the village, we find very rare this. The new buildings, if they have everything attached to the wall, even your clothes are put in the wall cupboard. No? It is to the wall attached to the cupboard, so it is called as the wardrobes. Okay, everything goes inside. Nothing can be seen. Only table, chairs outside, which is unmovable, the unfoldable things are only can put. Your plates, glasses, crockeries, ration items, all that is put in the cupboard. That is called the cupboards, wardrobes, cupboards. Okay. But when they look into the cupboard, they find the cupboard also empty. Oh my dear, this is the funny thing now. First they thought the things may be inside the cupboard, and they go and open the cupboard also empty. The fridge is not only empty, but it is not switched on as well. Okay, fridge is there, but it is empty, not even switched on. Okay, even the drawn and the Tracy warm warning to Pete not to smoke around, not to go around and look again. These are the three children with the searching manner. They are going on searching what is there in the house, what is not there. So they are, but others are warning them, don't go and search, it is not your house, it is somebody's house. Okay. Carol remarked that she finds the brown strange. But the Carol and the brown, they find it is very strange. What is the children come to the conclusion that the browns are the crooks and the house is their higher hold. Okay, maybe something dangerous things are happening here. Better to escape. Better to take a advantage, take a vigilant to aware of doing the things. At this point, Mrs. Brown comes back and she finds the cupboard open. The alien, one of the alien, looks like a human. They comes and sees the cupboard is open. She warns the children not to mess around, but she comes and warns the student. Okay, don't do anything, don't touch anything, don't mess around. Okay, don't disturb anything over here. She also offers the explanation that they are yet to open the packs and put things in their place as they have just moved into the new place. Children, they had carried their bags. They wanted to put their things outside. So just they are moving it, they are doing it. She even offers some orange juice to the children and leaves the room. But what she does? She brings the orange juice to them and leaves the place, warning the children once again not to touch the cupboards. Okay, after offering them the juice, tells them, please don't touch the cupboards. And this, you know, the children, whenever we say something, but they wanted to know what is there, what is happening, what is not there. However, the suspicion, doubt of the children grows stronger and stronger. They even notice that she has 7 fingers each of her 2 hands. Now one more strange thing. If the normal humans have 5 fingers, both the hands and the 5 fingers for the legs, but this Mr. Brown has 7 fingers, and first of all that is strange for them. They also find her eyes strange as they don't seem to have the people's, and their eyes are so, if you see there is a small picture they have given, it was pulled out, the head eyebrow is pulled it out and it looks like a so funny. Okay, that is what this doesn't look like a people's eye. The children feel that it is better for them to enter into the cupboard, see the cupboard, and children are surprised to see details, digital readouts, colors of lights and the electrical equipment in the cupboard. What they find, that is the electrical equipments. Okay, red oats and the dals and the digital red oats. Okay, usually what the human beings are not eating, that they find there. That is the problem now. At that point, Pet returns and increases the discomfort of the children by sharing with them his doubt that the teachers were dragged. Okay, now teachers are pulled out, dragged out from the scene. They are no more there. He reveals that the three teachers had sat motionless and the Browns were communicating with each other in the strange way. They are sitting there, but their teachers are motionless, like a stones, like a puppets. They are simply sitting, but the discussion is going on. Okay, let's see what happens. Hissing, clicking at each other. Okay, hissing, making some sounds. Okay, clicking at each other. The children, who are by now more and more uncomfortable, decides to get out of the house. And now they are with a lot of fear, wanted to get out of the house.